What's up summoners, and welcome back to another ProGuides Wild Rift video. My name is Baut, and for today's video we are going to talk about the best solo queue champions to carry you through your ranked games. Obviously we got one for every role, so listen up supports, you are also able to carry. First up on the list comes Camille, an absolute monster when it comes to carrying your games in a solo queue environment. But what makes her so strong that she's feared in every game, be it solo queue or competitive? It's her versatility and potential to make plays happen. Solo queue isn't centered around lane exclusively, it's also about how you approach or create windows of opportunity for yourself and your team. And let me tell you this champion, who can jump over any wall in the game, can surely make the enemy mid laner's life a living hell. To make sure that you're strong enough to do so, it's also quite important that you pick the right items to cater to your demands. For runes we want to take Conqueror, Brutal, Hunter Titan, Bone Plating or even Second Wind depending on a matchup, and Sweet Tooth. Summoner wise we just stick with the typical Flash Barrier, but if you think that you're better than the enemy, just pick up Ignite. For items we want to mainly focus on our core items, which in this case are Trinity Force, Death's Dance and Sterk's Gage. With those we become super tanky and hard to call while being able to dish out meaningful amounts of damage in skirmishes, fights and split push scenarios. For boots you want to stick with defensive ones and adapt your enchantment to what you think is needed. Mostly though it might be teleport, and for the rest of your build you may build what you deem necessary. We recommend you to build a defensive item such as a Randuin's Ohm and a Blade of the Rune King for extra sustain, DPS and damage. Before we continue with today's video, make sure to check out our Discord in the description below. We are running a lot of giveaways and our community is always eager to organize another event, so if you're interested in becoming part of the ProGuides family, you are more than welcome to do so. Next up comes Khazix as a jungle hypercarry. He's one of the best, if not the best jungler in the game, and when it comes to doing the heavy lifting. How so though? Similar to Camille, it's about his versatility. He can become any type of champion you need throughout the game, and every skill point he puts into his ultimate ability entirely changes the way the champion is played. His major spikes happen on level 5, 9 and 13. Reaching the first milestone always allows him to win any 1v1 and destroy objectives within seconds by evolving his first ability. The second milestone grants him the ability to peel, engage and control fights from range thanks to evolving his second ability. For the last evolution, we have to evolve his wings, as they now grant us even more reliable possibilities we can capitalize on. Don't be mistaken, your champion is an assassin, but without a doubt he's the most diverse one, as he can choose from many things and isn't just limited to one-shotting one target. To get to that point, we want to give you the best runes and items, so take Conqueror, Brutal, Hunter Titan and Mastermind, and for items go Dusk Blade of Draktar, Mortal Reminder, Yuum's Ghostblade, Black Cleaver and Sterk's Gage or the Stance. For boots you want defensive boots with Sonya's enchant to make sure you are able to stay alive during your proactive plays. If you want to learn more about Khazix, make sure to check out our mathematically correct Khazix video. You'll see a lot of plays and information as to why this champion is as strong as he is. After hearing this, it's time for a quick break and our question of the day. What is your personal favorite in solo queue? And which is the one you can carry the hardest on? Are they both the same? Let us know in the comments below. We also got our solo queue mid lane favorite, Katarina, the Queen of Daggers and Resets. Even though she was supposedly nerfed, she's still more than impossible to deal with in the context of solo queue. It is just way too easy for her to rack up gold and one-shot your entire team after getting a singular kill. It also doesn't help that she can instantly win lane if she gets the slightest of gold leads given to her. But there's one thing that you have to consider when you play this champion. Be patient and wait for your opportunity rather than trying to force fancy plays around the map. However, once you're stuck in a situation in which you cannot win lane anymore, don't forget there's always the opportunity to haunt the enemy dragon lane. Just walk there from base and flip a play if you really think that the game's in a very dire spot. To do so, you obviously want the best items, so for that we got you covered. Take Conqueror, Triumph, Hunter Titan and Sweet Tooth. For items you want to rush Haunting Guys and sit on it. Don't complete Liandry's until you completed Rabadon's Death Cap, Infinity Orb, Void Staff, Crystalline Reflector and Defensive Boots with his Sonya's. The Reflector comes in very clutch here in the later stages of the game. We'll jump into the enemy team and the item grants us a lot of bonus stats we really like, as we've racked up quite the amount of AP at this point. Our next solo queue stomper comes in the form of Kaisa. Due to the recent changes, she's been falling out of priority. However, she's still the best solo queue ADC without a single doubt on my mind. The way she functions and deals damage just is too insane and too good for solo queue to not put her on the list. To get your first power spike as fast as possible, we want to build a BF Sword, Executioner and a Longsword. With that, we are able to literally take 50% of someone's HP with just our first ability. Pretty balanced, right? And when you take into consideration how badly organized solo queue is, you can surely imagine what you can do with that. For the finished build, we want Blade of the Rune King, Runaan's Hurricane, Gluttonous Boots with a defensive enchant, Infinity Edge, Mortal Reminder and most likely a Bloodthirster nowadays. Keep in mind you may change up the order in which you complete items in any way you think is befitting of the current game state you are in. For runes, take Conqueror, Brutal or Vampirism, Adaptive Carapace or Hunter Titan and Sweet Tooth. Last but not least comes a support champion. She's been nerfed quite a few times but is still going strong simply because of how the champion works. Contrary to what most players think, it's not always your job to win lane. You can also stop the enemy team from winning as a support. Using your tools properly, as in your first and ultimate ability, can pretty much deny any kind of engage. Even better though, is the fact that you are able to travel across the map freely as you're an actual speed demon. So in most cases you straight up bum rush Lucidity Boots with either Redemption or Locket as an enchant. With that you're trying to accelerate your teammates in other lanes while simultaneously mitigating any damage done to your team. It's about being proactive as a support in solo queue, not reactive. For this we need the best items and runes available though, so listen up. Take Airy, Champion, Adaptive Carapace or Hunter Titan with Mana Flow. For items, go Ardent Censer, Stop Flowing Water, Rabadon Staff Cap, Athene's Unholy Grail and Harmonic Echoes. After completing Rabadon Staff Cap, it's up to you in what order you want to complete your build, but keep in mind that you are also able to build defensive items if need be. So don't shy away from building a tank item if you really need it. With that, we're at the end of today's video. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to never miss anything Wild Rift again. See you soon!